Laut Berichten sammeln sich die Allianztruppen unter dem Träger.
Sie ziehen sich zurück? Warum?
Von hier oben finden wir das nie raus.
Soldaten, wir sind gut und kämpfen bis aufs Blut. Ich nehm's zurück. Die Navy hat versagt. Hey Romeo, sagte ich nicht, die sollen den Mund halten? Ja, das war ein Befehl. Captain, 15 Klicks neben dem Deck.
Kurskorrektur auf meinen Befehl. Bereit machen.
Was hast du gesagt?
Jetzt!
Wir sind weit vom Kurs ab.
Der Kurs ist genau richtig.
Aber wir werden den Träger verpassen. Strahlung! War das etwa eine Atombombe?
Nein, der Träger wird springen. Es ist ein Slipspace drin. Wir müssen...
TNT, verlieren Energie und Fallschirme öffnen. Wir kommen hart runter.
When it comes to overrated or rather overhyped games, chances are that people were mentioning the Halo series at first. Over a year ago I thought this as well, but as I got my hands on the first Halo for the original Xbox, I was able to understand the hype. To some degree. I mean, it pretty much revolutionized the FPS genre on consoles. It has the 2 weapons carrying system, ginormous worlds to explore, Hollywood-style action and more. So, gameplay-wise, I was very amazed, but the story on the other hand left me a little bit cold. I don't know, but there weren't that many interesting characters or situations in Halo which were new or even original. Especially in the later games, and the last stage in Halo 3 wasn't as epic as I expected it. To be honest, I liked the first part the most. It started good and ended with a bang. And now, with Halo 3 ODST, it seems that Bungie were going to take us back to the roots of Halo 1. Also to some degree. The plot evolves around the Orbital Drop Shock Troopers, short ODST, a group of highly trained soldiers, and their task is to get rid of the Covenants in New Mombasa. First you play as a nameless and also speechless rookie who does the best thing that an ODST can do. Drop to the ground. But what is this? An atomic explosion? 6 hours later you find yourself in New Mombasa and you notice that something happened during your slumber. And that's pretty much the case here. Since this game takes role during Halo 2, where Master Chief forced the Prophet of Regret to escape via emergency slipstream, you and the other ODSTs were scattered around the place. You get out of your pod, and right at the beginning you'll also notice something different in this game. Yep, you actually take damage from falling too far. So what do? Well, get an health pack ASAP. Since your character is not the almighty Spartan, your abilities are somehow limited. You can't jump too high, you can't use 2 weapons at the same time. It's kinda like playing the first Halo again. This may come out as a big throwback, but it works actually very good. The city itself is very dark and, for an Halo title, very atmospheric and somehow eerie. Good that you have your VISR, which helps you through the night. It is also helpful to distinguish good guys from bad guys as well. From this point, you play as the rookie who travels through New Mombasa to find his comrades. And after a while, you find something. Who could be the owner of this helmet? You'll find it out soon. Via flashback. That's right. After you found something interesting as a rookie, you find yourself in an event hours earlier. Here you play one of the other ODST members who is somehow connected to the current item. And after the level is done, you're playing as the rookie again to find more clues. Those transitions are a fresh and interesting approach to the Halo franchise, and I seriously didn't expect that at all. Same goes to the characters here. well, you don't learn that much about Butch, Buck, Mickey and the rest of the crew, but they have personality, and even if you'll hear some corny jokes here and there, they are more fleshed out than a certain Spartan. The atmosphere is, I mentioned it earlier, very different from the previous Halo titles, especially in the parts where you are playing as the rookie. Walking through the lifeless New Mombasa at night is very intense, and the music here creates a very emotional and at times almost film noir-like feel to it. But the rest of the music is, like in the previous games, top-notch and always epic. From a graphical standpoint, it's still impressive, and the new art direction in New Mombasa is, like I said, fresh and unique. But the Halo 3 engine shows its age, so don't expect anything that we haven't seen before. Gameplay-wise, it's basically Halo 3 minus the Master Chief. Your characters are not as strong as him, but that doesn't mean it's not a blast. This only means that you have to use more tactical moves into the battle, and believe me, rushing into a battle in the higher difficulties won't help you much, and I know from what I'm talking about. Stealth is also an option that you should consider later on, but it doesn't necessarily work all the time. You also get a map later on where you can set up waypoints to find your objective. To be honest, I don't use this function that often, since you can set up an objective-based waypoint during the game by pressing up or down on the directional pad. It's a nice feature, but it's not that efficient as it probably should be. A nice extra are the sound data that you can collect from phone booths where you can learn something about certain characters from New Mombasa. This feature also gives the campaign a little bit more replay value, since it's only 5 hours long, depending on what difficulty you choose. But even though the campaign is kinda short, it has its great and powerful moments, and thanks to the movie feature that we know from Halo 3, you can record the best moments and battles anytime. When it comes to multiplayer, this game brings us the new Firefight mode, where you and 3 other players can join in for an amazing blast fest. Like in the zombie mode from Call of Duty World at War, you have to fight against masses of enemies, and it's all about getting the highest points. It gets harder later on, you can unlock skulls to modify the difficulty or the gameplay, and all in all, it's just pure fun. Playing this mode with your friends and helping each other out in fierce battles gives this game some more replay value, no matter if you play it online or local. There is also a second disc with the complete Halo 3 multiplayer collection, which means 24 maps plus the revised map sandbox plus the revised Halo 2 map midship equals multiplayer fun galore. If you are a Halo fan, you definitely have to check out this expansion. People who are new to the Halo series will probably find themselves lost in translation, since this game requires some knowledge about the previous titles. But anyone who wants a rock-solid FPS with some great multiplayer modes and maps will have lots of fun with it. Halo 3 ODST doesn't really reinvent the wheel, but it surprised me in many ways. And hopefully, so are you.